Hello, hello, my little ponies. I am Starlight, and welcome to another exciting installment of fanchart. We're together today. We have two wonderful guests. Hopefully, we'll get some more. But today, we'll be discussing the 101 episode of MLP, also known as Princess Spike. So here today to help me discuss this is Mr. Fox.
Greetings, members of all fandoms.
And of course, the sweet and lovable editor.
Hello there, everyone. How you doing?
And of course, I'm your lovely old Starlight. Have you missed me? Anyways. Anyways, so let's start off by what do we think about most Spike episodes?
There isn't enough of them, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they really get a lot of screen time. It's kind of like we haven't ever really seen a Pinkie Pie and Rarity episode either, you know?
No, I don't think we actually have seen one of them.
No, we haven't. I don't think we have. If I'm wrong, leave a comment below. But, yeah.
I sort of go with the Mr. Enter style of thinking. Previous ones have raised certain questions that Spike, the writers, either can't or don't want to answer.
Yeah, I feel like this episode, at least they kept him kind of in character. You know, he's a kid, and when a kid's given power, sometimes bad things happen, and it goes to their head very easily. And in this
Especially in his
case,
case.
I would like to say that most of the problems wasn't that happened was him just trying to do the job that he was originally assigned, to let Twilight sleep. And so he stopped a bunch of other stuff to get... Hello?
Hello.
You're
Hello.
late.
Sorry. Oh.
Everyone Pony, this is regular Pony 12.
Regroup.
Hey
And...
everyone. Hey everyone, this is Riku Brony. Continue.
where was I? I lost my train of thought. Thank you very much. Editor, you may say what you want.
You were talking about how kids get given a load of power and it goes to the Reds.
Oh yeah. For an example of this, my sister was given the power over me as a babysitter, and as such, she abused it like hell. She would lock me in rooms, or she'd have me clean the entire house. And if I didn't do so, I would get told that, oh, she didn't behave, and then my mother would punish me. So...
It's like an episode of Farewell Parents.
Sorry about that. And so... where was I? Now I lost my train of thought again. Sorry, scatterbrained here. So, yeah. Children should not be given a ton of power. And we see that he meant well. He did truly mean well for the most part. And then he just kind of took over. And that's when bad things happened. But at least he did actually complete the job he was given of, you know, keeping Twilight asleep.
Well,
True.
yeah, that's one thing.
Though I kind of have to wonder why no one went to her room while he was away. Like, we see tons of ponies going to her room all the time.
It's probably like because like in case like there's trouble, something like that, then they would go to Twilight immediately. Why can't it go to the other princesses instead of Twilight? Like,
That's a good question.
4 of them, for God's sake.
what?
There's 4 of them.
Yes.
mean-
By the way, did anyone else see the way that Luna was looking at Spike when he was trying to give his speech and he said everyone loves a princess? Did you see the look she gave him?
Oh, please don't.
It wasn't a romantic look. It was kind of like a, are you kidding? Because, let's face it, she is a princess and Luna wasn't always beloved.
It's like she's going, have you ever watched the first
I
episode?
haven't seen her like look at it.
You didn't? It's where he's in full view, and all you can see to the side is Celestia's body, and then you have Luna's head that you can see. And when he says that, she looks at him, and it's not a really expressionful look, but it kind of is like, oh, Spike.
Yeah, now that I
Aw.
think of it, Spike, that
Anyway,
Yeah.
it did just seem very selective on who they wanted to talk to.
actually, because of that look, I kind of was wondering if this was going to be a Luna and Spike episode where, like, Spike falls asleep at his post or something, and Luna infiltrates his dreams. I'm sorry, with that look, that was what I was thinking when all of a sudden Cadence was like, we need to let her sleep, and I was like, oh god, Spike is going to fall asleep, and then Luna's going to come in, and then a bunch of weird imagery stuff is going to happen.
You watched
But
Silver Quill's comic review, didn't you?
what?
You watched Silver Quill review that comic with them, didn't you?
What comic?
Yeah, Friends Forever something something. Let's
I
start
think
spiking
they-
that.
I think the only one I've seen of Silver Quill review was one with Babseed and Rarity.
Yeah, he's a really
Oh,
good
yeah.
idea.
Oh no, he did the good, the bad, and the pony as well.
Oh, wait.
The
The thing is, though, Spike was a great assistant to like keep everything calm and like just tell the other ponies that like that the princess can't like be loud, and then like sometimes like even though if he gives them their own opinions, like well the one that like the ponies that come to Twilight's like house, well not house, to like her bedroom, Spike gives them up opinions because, well, to keep things calm and then have peaceful.
I also have to say, did anyone else think that the leaders of some of these towns were really stupid? Like, he told those two ponies to just share. You think would have been like, okay, well, I can go
I never
first, and then you
thought
can
of
go
that.
next. No, like, who in their right mind thought, oh, when she means share, she means let's talk at the exact same time.
Morons.
Also, did anyone think that the pony from, I can't remember the one with the hat. Do you remember, like,
Mm-mm.
the one with the hat with the cup of coffee on her? She reminded me of that one woman from that movie. She was pregnant and like she was a cop. Do you remember?
Oh.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. I can't think of the movie, and it doesn't matter. But it reminded me of that. And so,
What?
I don't know. I feel like they kind of like to bash Spike because let's face it, they just finished rebuilding the statue, and then at the end of the episode, they have him sneeze again, and supposedly.
Yeah, no. It was like one of those
Yeah.
things like it's one of
I
those
like
things like just let me talk. It's one of those things like so I'm sorry, but it's one of those like endings that like it's like a dramatic and then like gone like the end like really
Oh, did it
they're doing
end?
that thing again.
I will
Why?
say that this entire episode made me want to watch some of the old episodes of Tom and Jerry. I don't know, like, scenes
How do
of
you get
this
that from
made me think. Okay, do you guys remember that episode in Tom and Jerry where Tom is given orders to not let anyone disturb the king? And so the entire
Oh,
time
yeah.
the mouse is trying to wake up the king. And to me, the delegates seemed to like the mice. And Spike was the cat trying to keep her from waking up. And then, it's like all these painful, horrible things happen to him. And it's like, also, couldn't Cadence have just, put up a silencing barrier or something around Twilight's room, or at least her bed, you know? So that way then, because apparently she knew that things were happening and that, things had to be done. So she should have just been like, well, just guard the door and make sure no one comes in, and I'll put up this sound barrier so that way then so she won't be disturbed. A silencing spell. How difficult is that?
But how
You're
can
a
it make
princess!
how can they make a sound barrier? Isn't that difficult for them to like cast a spell? But the thing is though, that's what I was thinking of this in my mind. Why do they have guards guarding the door that Twilight was in her bedroom and just tell them that she's not available? So you'll have to wait.
I don't
Like
know, because I didn't see a
seriously.
single Canterlot guard this entire
Yeah.
episode.
Oh,
If anything,
crap.
yeah, if anything, Spike was the guard of the episode,
A
and he did a
thought
crap
just
row.
entered my head.
But the
Like,
only
did anyone see a Canterlot guard through this
Guys,
entire episode?
A thought just entered my head.
no.
What?
This would have actually been an episode that would justify Flash's existence.
Now that was
Yes.
he's in
And
the
then we
Crystal.
could have gone to
he's in the
see a
Crystal
mob
Empire.
beat him up. Yes. Would have
He's
been
in the
much
Crystal Empire though, not Canterlot.
Yes, but the Chris. Well, we've seen that he travels around with Cadence. So shouldn't he be there because of Cadence? Also, we saw that in fact crystal ponies do not keep their crystal look if they are not in the Crystal Empire. You
mean their shine?
Yeah, they don't keep that shiny rocky appearance when they're not in the Crystal Empire.
They forgot to sparkle.
But the other thing is though, like doing like when the crystal statue came down, how do they know that how to which pieces that go to which place? Like
Well, maybe they were. Well, do you remember that pamphlet that one pony had that, had all those lines? I bet each of them
Oh,
received a pamphlet that showed where their stone was, and they probably memorized where their stone was.
I see.
Or at least, at least they're like, huh, well, there's my stone. So that's probably how that worked. Although, honestly, Hasbro needs to come up with that puzzle. Because I want that 3-dimensional puzzle. I want it! I want to
At
be
least
able
it
to
was
put
like-
the stones together. Yeah.
At least there was like a lot of there was like more background ponies like talking at least.
Yeah, and that fancy one got a voice this time, didn't he?
Fancy Pants got to talk again, yes. He had a voice in the last time we saw him, didn't he? We didn't see Prince
No.
Blue Blood. Prince Blue Blood was nowhere to be seen. I like to think that the princesses decided to send him on a trip somewhere so he wouldn't just be an asshole this entire show.
Oh yeah, that would be true. That would be true.
I think I can remember the last time we spoke about him. You said you wanted to see him and throw a cake at him.
No, the last time I saw him, I said I want him to be reformed. I want Big
Why?
Macintosh to reform him. That is my decision, and that is what I want.
And why would you want him to do that?
Because
The
he's
guy
a
is a
family
little
member.
brat.
We've gotten Discord to be reformed, and I think that some nice hard farm work and some nice talkings to would help straighten that fellow out.
No, he's a brat.
And
This
with
is-
most
this isn't-
brats, all it takes is some hardship to help make them understand that the world is not all weirdness. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, but this isn't Princess and the Frog.
I've actually never seen that movie.
Oh, you should.
It just seemed weird to me. I grew up reading that story, and it was one of my favorites as a little kid. Second favorite, actually. The Snow Queen was my favorite Hans Christian Andersen story. And so, I like Disney movies, but they have a habit of ruining some of my favorite stories, you know?
The only reason, main reason I like it is because Keith David's in it.
I don't know. I've listened to the songs.
Yeah, he's the Shadow Man.
Yes. I've listened to the songs, because I like most of Disney's music. Disney's music is always fun.
One thing I noticed from this is that Griffinstone is either a part of Equestria or there are other Griffin towns in it.
Well, there might just be a Griffin town in Equestria.
Because as we saw from Griffinstone, its inhabitants pretty much didn't give a crap that their town was in shambles.
Griffinstone had their own king, so I don't. Well, it is in the map of
Yeah.
Equestria, so I suppose it is on Equestria's land.
They don't have a king.
Well, they
They did.
did, but maybe the king was more of just a symbol. And so, yeah, it was on the map of Equestria, so I suppose it is technically considered an equestrian city. So,
I guess.
That would count.
We did see a tiger patterned griffin as one of the delegates.
tigers. Rawr.
Ah. What the hell?
Okay.
Anyways. Yeah, there was a lot of cool new pony designs in the background, too.
I swear that one of them is the professor. I swear one of them is the professor from Back to the Future.
Are you sure?
Oh, you mean the cloud one?
Yeah, the one.
I
Yeah,
actually saw him earlier this season when Rainbow Dash wrecked the weather factory.
I swear
Oh, I didn't see that one.
he's the one with the puffy white hair and the.
Oh yeah, I know him. It was
Does he have any?
Fluffy Clouds. Yeah.
I think he reminds me of the professor from Back to the Future.
Yeah, sort of. Well, at least he got a voice though. You didn't get one like during the one that Take Memories, I think. Yeah.
Hmm?
He didn't get a voice, but now he did since this episode.
Yeah, I think ever since the 100th episode, they're going to start giving background characters more voices and more things to do.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they should do. More background ponies, more voice actors.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And please bring Scott McNeil back.
Who the hell's that?
Scott McNeil's the guy who voiced Chief Thunderhoof.
I would have kind of liked to see a Wonderbolts performance. You know? Like, this is a big event, apparently, and I would like there to be Thunderbolts doing pretty designs in the sky.
Oh yeah, they should bring. They would have put the Wonderbolts in there, but they
Like,
didn't.
maybe, like, at the end, after Spike breaks it again, like, cut to, the Wonderbolts doing, like, a aerial design or something, and then cut to black or something.
If
But-
only they weren't so terribly incompetent.
Yeah, but let's face it, that's like, I don't know. I don't really like thinking about the Wonderbolts. They make me sad.
They're terrible.
There was one tree that didn't make sense, but why was it there?
What?
And another thing is, what's with these trees that apparently all dragons are allergic to?
I don't get that part. Like, did they just put it in there because of this episode? Something like that?
And also, apparently, they waited till the trees were so top-heavy that they were actually moving their base. First off, no tree grows like that. Secondly, if this is a major city, why didn't you do it before the event?
Yeah, why would you do it?
Like, all these things, like fixing the main, cutting the trees, polo matches, all of these things should have been scheduled to be done before the event, not during the event.
Yeah, and also, who decides to start drilling just before everyone starts coming around?
It doesn't make sense. Why did they do it?
Convenience.
Probably because, like,
Plot
in that
filler.
time. That would be one thing. Or they would have done it after the event. That would have been better.
No, it should have been done before the event.
Why?
Because if water main breaks, if they need to repair it, they should have done it before the event instead of waiting. And if they waited till after, then the water main could have broken and could have flooded, which it did happen because they didn't do it beforehand. And the trees should have been cut and cleaned up so that way then the Canterlot looked well. Usually when there's a big alright, think about the world sport thing. What is it called?
The equestrian game.
Not the equestrians. I'm talking in real life.
The
Olympics. Think of the Olympics. It's a world event, and one place is chosen to host that event. And what happens before they do that? They clean up the city. They clean it all up. Hell, when Hitler was hosting it in Germany, he took down all the Nazi
What?
signs. You
That
know,
is
they
true.
clean it
That
up,
is
make
true.
it look good. You know, they fix potholes, everything. They clean up the city to make it look good. That should have happened before the delegates arrived. That's
Wow.
just common sense. If Canterlot wanted to make itself look good, they should have cleaned up the city.
Maybe they
I
didn't
mean,
care.
the water main just wouldn't have break if that tree would have fallen onto that pipe. Like, how could that happen with a one ball? Those
Composition.
trees should have fell down real easily. Why would that happen? That's the question.
It just doesn't make any sense.
This episode is just filled with plot holes. Is it amusing? Yes, I found this plot hole amusing. As I said, this episode amusing, not plot hole. This episode is amusing due to the fact that it reminds me of a Tom and Jerry cartoon. It doesn't make any sense, but it's still funny to watch.
It reminds me of like a Dexter's Lab episode, really, to me.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah, there's like one episode where Dexter's working all night, and then Dee Dee has to try and stop everything from making a noise, and she's making more noise than anything else.
Mm-hmm. As I said, the princess should have like just put up a silencing spell around Twilight and been done with it.
I mean,
And
it's
put
like
guards at the door and been like, no one's allowed to see the princess.
I'm
I mean,
sorry,
and
Twilight,
then,
but the
like,
princess
and
is
then,
asleep.
like-
You'll have to go to another castle.
The princess is asleep. All things should be taken to Princess Cadence.
I mean, that is true. They would have done that if they wouldn't been idiots. Well, they didn't even think about it. That's one thing.
I think that this episode had potential, and it was good. I liked this episode. I just think that it could have used some better writing. It is filled with contrivances that could have easily been fixed, and I'm sure that even a lot of children recognize these plot holes. Let's face it, if a 6-year-old can point out a flaw in a plan, then you really need to take and consider about the writing of it.
Contrivances and plotters aside, it isn't terrible.
No, it is
No,
a
there are
decent
worse
episode.
ones out there.
Hold on. I need to turn on the Q&A because there's probably questions because I've been forgetting to look. Yu-Gi-Oh! Brony says hi. Oh, hey, you're here. Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh! How have you been?
His mic's muted.
Mm. He says hi, everybody.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How goes the fight against Marek?
Let's see.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference, if anyone doesn't get that.
okay. So, let's see.
What?
What else can we talk about this episode?
How about Spike's character development? 'Cause I think he got quite a bit.
Well,
What?
he didn't really get any new character development. I think he learned a lesson, but let's face it, we've already known that Spike is very prone to be selfish and easily tainted with power. You have seen this before when, during the Equestria Games. Like, when he thought he could set things on fire with his mind? Do you remember how cocky he became?
Yeah, but let's face it, we've all had a situation like that.
Um,
You know,
my
like,
sisters always beat me into realizing that I was not as cool as I thought I was.
Oh.
To hell what other people's opinions are.
Yep. Honestly, I think Spike learned a really good lesson. That, you can start off with the best intentions and yet end up being led astray.
I think that the one problem that the entire series has is that they let everyone off too easy.
Mm. So what do you think should have happened to Spike? They should have just let the mob take him out?
I'm currently thinking about that one.
No gens for
Uh,
a month for you, mister.
no, he should have like cleaned. No, he should have like cleaned up his mess or something. Like the CMCs have to clean up their stuff.
Yeah. Hey, they
I
haven't
mean,
gotten covered in tree sap recently, so that's an improvement.
like
What?
going back to Tag to the Memories. RD goes into the factory. She gets no punishment for it.
Yeah, but she also did save a bunch of people a lot of work. But yeah,
Yeah,
and
so,
but still, she just destroyed the factory, and apparently Cloudsdale has to go to everywhere and make it winter. So that
yeah,
means that they now have to fix it. Which luckily, since they are done with one task, they might have time to fix it up. But
yeah,
that's like
saw her that.
Well, at least it didn't like actually completely destroy the factory. That's
I don't
one
think she
thing.
completely destroyed the factory. I think she destroyed the winter side of the factory, and she might have destroyed the lightning side of the factory.
Yeah, that would be one thing.
Which does beg a question: why would you keep the lightning part next to the water tanks?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Potatoes.
Thank you, Keith
Potato?
Lemon.
Um. uh, okay.
Lemon sherbet.
Okay. Let me talk about the first part. Like, if it how could it take like 3 days to build that statue? Like, why couldn't she like take a break, like take a night off, and then like
I don't
and
think
then
she
like
was the one building the statue. I think she was the one organizing the event, making the timetables, making sure the banquet was done, picking out cutlery and colors and all that other stuff. A lot more goes into planning a party than you actually think.
Yeah,
Because
I
you got to
think
pick food, and then you have to take into account what if some pony has food allergies, so you have to have alternatives for the food, alternatives to drinks. You have to decide on color scheme and patterns,
there
and
is a little bit of a problem with that, though.
I mean, you shouldn't have stayed up 3 damn straight days. Like
it's
that.
Twilight.
Well, that is true, but she shouldn't stay up that many days.
It's
I agree
Twilight.
with Yu-Gi-Oh! This was a better episode than Equestria Games.
We'll get to that.
Oh yeah,
Although
that's one thing. Yeah.
there is one problem I can think of.
Hmm.
If they're trying to organise everything by making sure that they're making sure no one has allergies, they know that Twilight has a pet dragon, and yet they had those trees there.
They did not
Yes,
do
but
those.
the trees were supposed to be cut down, which probably meant all the flowers would be gone.
Thing is, though, they didn't like tell the others to do that kind of stuff before the event. Like they
Yeah, that's
should.
my biggest contrivance with this.
That's the thing, though. They're like, why didn't they tell the princesses to do this before the event? Like, why didn't they say that? Like, it's like they don't care.
Why didn't Celestia talk to her sister before her sister went evil?
Okay.
That's a big contrivance there. Yes, sisters fight. Yes, sisters tend to not get along very well. But all in all, her sister should have talked to her before she went all psycho. I guess she was just too busy.
I'm too busy lighting the sun up at the moment. Go away.
Uh-huh. Anyways. Sorry about that. Anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I like the episode, but I'm just happy that they get a Spike episode finally. There's not enough of them around.
Yeah, at least.
I really now want a Rarity and Pinkie Pie episode.
Why?
Because
I don't know. I think it would
we've
be
got one of them yet.
hilarious. I don't know. I think they could be good. Let's think about it. Pinkie Pie plans parties. Rarity is a designer. They could work together to make a big event. You know?
Well, it's so they sometimes get in a fight, which is like.
Maybe
Yeah.
they'll get into an argument because Pinkie Pie wants something really tacky, and Rarity wants something really elegant and squishy, and then, they start fighting, and before you know it, they're not talking, and then, let's say Fluttershy comes in and tries to fix their friendship. Yes, because the main six need to learn more lessons about friendship. I believe this. I truly do. What are
Yeah.
two other ponies in the main six that haven't been paired off for an episode yet?
How about
Twilight's been with everybody, so
yeah, that is one thing. But what about like um
Have we had a Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy?
I don't think
uh,
so.
See,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
Pinkie
yes,
Pie
yes,
gets
we
paired
have.
off with a lot of people. I think Pinkie Pie has
We
been
have.
paired off with. Huh? We have? What
Yeah.
episode?
Gruff in the brush off.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, how is that a Pinkie Pie and.
Because those two interact with each other a lot. And putting your hoof down.
But we haven't got one that's like for Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. That's like one thing though. Like they didn't do that yet. Like why didn't Hasbro think of that and make an episode with Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy? Which I don't think I remember.
Let's see.
I think there's enough in every one of them, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't think there was a Rainbow Rainbow Dash, but either way, they could do
Oh,
one
no.
of that
Rarity
as
and
well.
Rainbow Dash episode.
No, there
I
hasn't
can't
been
think of
one.
one. Well, which is funny because you think they would. Well, I guess you could consider that there has been an Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash episode with what was it? It was the first Luna episode with Scootaloo.
Sleepless in Ponyville.
Sleepless in Ponyville. That's it. That's the one.
Yay, I win. What's
You
my
get
prize?
a hug.
Yay!
Yay. Anyways,
Mhm.
well, I don't think we have any. What are your thoughts on the Hubs network becoming Discovery Family?
I just don't get it.
It's just a change of the name.
Yeah,
Discovery Family.
yeah. I just don't know why Hub had to leave. I don't know why.
I don't know. I got rid of my cable because it wasn't worth paying for it when I never watch cable.
Well, at least my Time Warner Cable has Discovery Family, which I think it was replaced by Hub Network. No.
Wasn't there already a Discovery Family? So maybe they bought out the known TV stations?
No, I don't think there was one.
I don't know.
I
So,
don't think.
let's see. Well, I think we can go to the after chat now. So we can talk about anything you guys want.
Good.
Yeah, I've pretty much had my say.
Hmm.
I'll leave you groovy people to your thoughts, and I have to bring you more of mine next time.
Alright. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Well, I suppose if you guys have nothing else to say, then I guess we'll sign out. I'll see you next week on the 28th. We'll be discussing the 102nd episode. And I
102
hope to
Dalmatians.
see you all then, my little ponies. I'm Starlight shining out, and as always, don't forget to sparkle.